What's up, everybody?
My name is
Evan
Maletsky,
Maletsky, and today we're going to be looking at
some Lego spaceships.
micro spaceships.
That
actually was quite decent.
Hello, everybody. My name is Luke Havener.
And I am not Luke Havener.
And today, we are going to be looking at some Lego spaceships.
They're small.
Alright, so here are all the Lego spaceships. I built these four.
And I built the rest of them.
And now we are going to do an in-depth look at all of these individually.
We're going to look at them very in depth.
Yes, very in the depths of the depth.
You thought you looked at things in depth? No.
It's going to be
We're
like...
about to look so in depth.
The micro spaceships are going to be...
Have you ever looked at the atoms of a Lego piece? Yeah, you're about to, alright? Every single atom.
Yep. Alright, here we go.
All of them. Alright, now on to the in-depth features of each one of these gnarly spacecraft. See you there! Alright, let's get this party started with one of my personal favorites. This one's kind of not really a spaceship, it's more of like a beast kind of thing. It's got teeth, so it's really not a spaceship. I don't know of any spaceship that have teeth. So this is like its mouth area. It's kind of got some claws of fuego here. That means fire in Spanish if you don't know that. These are some wings. They're kind of not the same color as the rest of the body, but I mean, if you know where they make white wings that are these, then like hit me up. On the bot, he's like spitting fire. I don't even know what the. Yeah, that's basically this one. I mean, I think this is pretty cool. Yeah. All right. So this next one kind of looks like a brick, but that's all right. So I was looking at this and I noticed that it's really built completely around this horse reins. So there's a horse reins piece in here that really like makes up the center of it. And then the key to this one, and actually a lot of these, is that there's a lot of hinged bits. Well, that just fell off. The way you shape the body of it is hinged. I mean, all of these things can move. Like this can move and this can move. So like hinges are really helpful to make it move around. Another thing about this one is that it's actually really small. I mean, here's my hand in comparison. There's nothing wrong with it being small and compact. So moving on from this one, the next one we've got is this little black weird thing. And it is weird looking, but that's all right, honestly. They don't have to look like normal spaceships. They can look like totally funky made up things. I mean, like this thing's tail, it looks really funky, but that doesn't matter. I mean, it's your imagination and creation. So as long as you like it and as long as you think it looks cool, I mean, that's all that matters. This one has a lot of like black pieces because this was right after Luke destroyed his infection thing or whatever. And so I took a lot of the black pieces and some of the purple pieces and, you know, put them together. We were watching a YouTube video or something. And this is kind of like, you know, it's a fun thing to just build while you're doing something like.
Watching a YouTube video.
Yeah, but like yeah, so that's this one. Weird is not bad. That's the moral of the story with this buddy. And then this one is another fun thing that we have made. This is also one of the first things I made. And this one's kind of cool because either side looks fairly decent. I mean, this side looks better because there's no anti-studs. But I mean, if you like the anti-studs, then that works. And then a piece that we used in this one a lot, or I used, is this little like rack thing. You know, everything's hinged to it. And this is another one where all the wings are hinged. I mean, these are hinged. This can move around. The tail can move around. Also, Luke dropped this one, so I put this one back together as well as I could, but I didn't remember how I made it. So, I mean, it looks a little funky, but again, just like with that last one, I mean, that's really all right. So, yeah, I mean, that's this one. Yep, pretty gnarly.
All right, so this is one of the ones that I made. This is, again, very tiny, just like one of the ones that Evan made, but it uses some darker gray pieces on this side and then some dark red pieces on this side. And it's very small. It's all based around this, like, very centric, like, booster in the back. You can see right there.
You hate it.
Yes. Yeah, so then this one is probably my least favorite one I've built. I just built this because I was inspired by Evan because he's such a gangster. And I tried to imitate him, and it sucked. But I was just showing this to show how you can make something. It can suck. That's all right, ladies and gentlemen. Also, it uses this hinge piece that's in the back to do this thing. So you can, there's two different hinges right here connected to get that shaping, and it looks pretty cool. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. So that's that one. Now this one, I was inspired by the pieces, so I was like, oh, these pieces look cool, these big cylinders, and these were from a really old like wolf-themed Chima set, and I was like, those are cool. And then I also really liked all these translucent blue pieces that I had, so I decided to like mix them together. It's similar color scheme to like Iron Man, but I didn't have any gold in here. I just have gray on the other side. But this is all connected by 3 different areas. You got this tube on this side, this tube on this side, and then this center, which is actually just a 1x1 brick right here that has pieces on the other side with studs not on top construction. And then this actually has pieces coming off this edge of it, like an X kind of, or like, I don't know, like a plus.
I haven't been in school forever. I don't know.
So coming off both of the edges of it. These give it more of like a diagonal kind of look to it. And this gives it kind of like a diagonal shape to it, kind of like a triangle or a A. But yeah, that's what this is. And this just shows you can get inspired by a couple pieces or like a color scheme and then build your whole thing around it. This one is also really small, but you can pack a lot of detail in small spaces. So that's that one. Okay, so this one was actually not based, this spaceship wasn't actually based on the original spaceship design. This was actually based on the thruster design. So this thing, I made it with all these tread pieces and also some big wheels and stuff. It gets progressively smaller at the end, and it's supposed to be similar to a just normal thruster, except it's enormous. So and then I just built a little ship that would be comical to have connected to this thruster. So now you have this ship. It kind of looks like smoke. Like, it kind of looks like this ship is just not very environmentally friendly. It probably should have added more of, like, actual fire coming out the back. But that's alright. So, moving on to the last and final one of the ships that I've made. Alright, so this is the last one that I've built. This was originally inspired by, like, having it super thin. I wanted to make the wings so that they weren't, like, most of the ships that Evan has been building and that I built have the wings being like plates and angled plates. So if I show it from head on, it is only like, 2 studs wide. This was all based on having these like different sections. So if I take this apart, you got one wing right here, you got the center bit, and you got the other wing. And these are connected using pieces that make it so you can both build horizontal and then they switch to being vertical. That's why I have these same pieces, which are both from a Chima set. These yellowish, orangish pieces. If I put this all back together, these have these thrusters on the inside that were inspired by Tron, and these are actually the same pieces that they used for the Tron set. And then you got this shaping in the back to make the back engine bit look like thicker, more powerful. And yeah, that's what this thing is. Now, moving on back to Evan with his incredible spaceships.
Alright, so back to me. This one is kind of like a cargo troop carrier thing, and I think like there's these black rings around the wings, and I'm pretty sure I stole those directly from a TIE fighter. Genius me. It has this red stripe that goes across the bottom. I was kind of inspired by like a ship, because like you see black ships and then we see them out of the water, they have like a red belly. So yeah, that's kind of what I was inspired by from that. It has a lot of like thruster things on the back, 6 of them to be precise. They're all different colors. Yeah, this one's pretty cool. This is a little bit bigger for comparison. That's that one. So I mean, yeah, this one's pretty cool. Moving on from this one.
Let's get a funny bit in here to break up the boring part.
Of what?
Of the video.
Just knock something down.
Oops! I knocked something down! How hilarious!
Knocking stuff down always works.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remember to subscribe to the YouTube
Everybody!
channel so that I can get rich and not have to have a job.
Alright, so next up, we've got this cool ship thing.
Mention I got one.
That can be the funny bit. Alright, so next up we've got this cool little ship thing. As you can tell, it looks a lot like a Batman ship. We built this right after we did our video about dropping all the things, and there was a bunch of Batman stuff that we dropped. And I kind of took some of those pieces and made this. There's a lot of fire coming out of the back. Again, this one's pretty large. The thing I like about this one is that the wings like fold up. It's like those fighter jets, you know, in speed mode and less speed mode. Yeah, these things fall off a lot. Put that baby back on there. Luke can say something.
So also, it looks cool, right? Because you have the gray inside bits, and then you have like the black armor plating.
Oh, and also, if you look at this, it's really actually super thick. They're all plates, but it's about 2 studs thick. So I mean, it doesn't have to be like an aerodynamic spaceship.
I think I like 2 bricks.
Okay, maybe I did mean 2 bricks. Whatever. Yeah, so that's this one. All right. So this is one of another one that I made, and this is another one where I was kind of inspired by pieces. If you look at it from the front, it's got this kind of like V shape, and that's because if you look at these pieces, we used arch pieces. Well, I used arch pieces. Luke didn't do anything. You know, when you look at these arch pieces, you don't want to think, oh yeah, those are the wings of a spaceship. I'll give credit to Luke because this was also his idea. But kind of carry the arch out, so you kind of have like an arch shape here, and also the saw blades as like the thrusters. Were an idea that I had. Yeah, and then also this is another one of the ones that has a horse reins piece in it. And I really like this piece because it has a nice like curve, which is a really good shape for like the body of a spaceship, which is why I use it so much. Let me just quickly disassemble this, which is pretty easy because it's pretty terribly built. So if you look at this, these wings are held on by 2 studs that attach right here. So this is by no means well built or sturdy, but I mean, that doesn't really matter. If you're like 2 years old and you plan on swishing this around, it's gonna fall apart on you. But if you just wanna like set it on your desk and look at it, it doesn't really matter if it's well built. I'm gonna put it back together. And while I'm doing that, let's have a word from our sponsors. Well, I'm done, so. All right, so this is the last one. I think this one is the coolest. All right, so this last one is one of the bigger ones, wide and length actually. It's not very thick. The wings are only like about 1 stud thick. Yeah, but this one, as you can tell, has a lot of translucent orange pieces, which I think really like add to the highlights of it. They make it look cool. It has these like Tron pieces, as Luke was saying about his other thing, and as you notice, if you look nice and closely, so if you look at these, you can see that there's actually a print on them. These are from the series of Nexo Knights. Yeah, I forgot. Yep. So he stole the clear ones, so I was stuck with the Nexo Knight ones. But honestly, they look fine. I mean, you can't notice unless you stick your face up right next to it. Yeah, so this guy's 2 of those like cockpit kind of pieces on the front, and then also Nexo Knight sword pieces on the back as like the jet trails. And then this has 2 sets of wings that kind of stick out, and they are supposed to like mimic each other. These are smaller versions of these ones, which I didn't mean to do, but I realized that they looked cool and they looked like that. This one is another work in progress. As you can see, I've got like a piece here, no piece here. So most of these aren't actually finished, but I mean, you can keep picking them up and working on them if you need to. That's the fun of it. So yeah,
okay.
That's that.
Thank you, Evan. That's a wrap. Now we're good.
That's a wrap.
Yep.
All right, everybody. Thank you for watching this epic video where we told you about how we built all of these spaceships, gave you a few tips and tricks for you to build your own spaceship.
And make sure, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you subscribe. Press that subscribe button with the inside of your thigh.
Or just press it with your finger like a normal person.
No, inside of your thigh.
Yep. Also, you're gonna hit that like button with your nose holes. Stick it all the way in there. No, just press it with your thumb. Like it says, there's literally a picture of your thumb pressing it. That's why it's a thumb.
That's a thumbs up.
No, that means press it with your thumb.
Then you would be doing the dislike. Don't do a dislike, guys. That's bad.
Or do a dislike. He'll probably throw a party because that's what he did last time.
Comment which of these that you like the most, because I'm sure everyone will actually do that, seeing as no one has ever done that ever before. But yes, do that.
Leave a comment about how awesome we are.
Or
Leave a comment about anything. Honestly, we read all of your comments because there's like 3 of them.
Leave a comment on how your life is going, ladies and
Yes. All right. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned. Stay tactical. Stay Lego-tastic.
No. Anyway, this has been Luke Havener. And not Luke Havener.
We're out
And we are out.
of time because we've been recording for hours.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching this video. I was very entertaining, I'm sure. Ready for 2 days.